Hi, everyone, and welcome to our first Q&A of the new year. I'm so excited to be back with Jay in the studio, and we have all kinds of things to talk about. We've had a fantastic year so far, and we have some great things to talk about in regards to faculty and some of the other things that are happening across Macomb. So welcome, Jay. It's good to see you.
You too.
Yes, I think this is the first time I've seen you since January.
Yeah, it seems kind of awkward to say Happy New Year toward the end of February,
I know,
but
right?
here we are.
Yeah, almost March. So professors just went through a very stressful but exciting time. We went through just the tenure process to talk about what's happened, and we've had some tenure that have been elevated to the next level.
Yeah, it was always a great day. And on February 14th this year, Valentine's Day, we had the announcement come out for faculty promotions. And so it's the end of a process that often starts last April or May and has multiple layers going through it. And for the most stressful part are the faculty who are up for tenure, where it's an up or out moment in the way that research universities like this work.
Yeah.
And so it was wonderful to see professors go over that hurdle and recognize years and years of hard work. And we had it up and down the ranks. So from assistant to associate professor, that comes with tenure. Associate to full professor, we had people get distinguished senior lecturer, which is the highest rank in that class of titles. And then we had our first promotion to clinical full professor. Yeah. So it was a really fun season.
That's awesome. And for some, it takes it's a 5 to 6 year process to get to that point.
Yeah,
so
typically
if you survived, congratulations.
Right. That's right. Yeah, you've earned it.
Yes, that's a huge undertaking. So we say congratulations to those. Well, as everyone knows, and if you don't know, you should know by now that Brene Brown will be a visiting faculty member here at Macombs. There has been a big event to announce her coming here on campus. So talk a little bit about what you expect and how you see that class or what she plans to do unfolding here at Macombs.
Oh, we're just thrilled to have her here as part of the faculty. And as you mentioned, the announcement, she's here as a visiting professor for the year here in the Macomb School, which we think is just a fantastic opportunity for us as a school. The event where she spoke at Gregory Gym, right? It's pretty amazing to bring together that many faculty, staff, and our students to hear her talk about leadership. She is making this transition from the world of social work more into the leadership Dare to Lead space with her latest book and her most recent work. And so we think the business school is a very natural home for her work. Right. And I think the coming year, in addition to continuing to bring this leadership focus to campus, she also is going to be engaged with our faculty, which we're excited about. So, we have leading scholars in the area of leadership and management in general. And so there's a great opportunity for some sort of synergies there between things she can do really, really well and things our faculty can do really, really well also. And then we also think that she'll be able to help us with our corporate outreach, because she is now working with just an amazing set of firms around the world. And so our ability to help her reach that kind of an audience, I think will be great from her side. And it'll be good for the school to get that perspective into what is corporate America thinking in terms of trying to get more leadership training for their teams. Right,
that's awesome. I said class, but it's more of a Dare to Lead program that she's introducing here at Macomb. So that's very exciting.
It is,
awesome.
It is.
All right, so let's talk about the Business Outlook events. They have happened in cities all across the state, here, San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. And so what was the outcome of each of those?
Yeah, and they were all great. Great chances to get alumni together. All of them sold out, so everyone was at the full room. We partnered again with the Federal Reserve Bank and the Dallas Fed, and they have done this the last 8 years with us. So they would bring an economist in. We would give a little bit of the school update. And then in two of the markets, in Houston and Dallas, we brought a professor with us, and John C. Butler in Houston talked about the energy business and what's going on there. And we had a panel around what's the future of sustainability and alternative energy look like. And then in Dallas, we tried something a little bit different. James Scott came up and talked about AI and machine learning issues. And then we had a panel around what is data doing to the real estate business. And that was fascinating. And then in Austin and San Antonio, we did more kind of what we're used to, which is you get two business leaders from two different industries talking about what they're seeing from their seats and what they're worried about. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a great way for us to sort of show the flag and also to bring out some influential business leaders for people to hear from.
Yeah, so does the economy look better here in Texas, according to those in the room?
Well, we are very lucky, I think, to be in Texas. The outlook the way the Fed often does it is to sort of start at the big national level and then zone down. But almost every level you zone down, it gets better and better for us. If you go from, I think the U.S. is better than most of the world.
Yeah.
You go into Texas is better than the U.S. and Austin's better than Texas.
Yeah.
So in terms of economic growth,
Sure.
so we're very, very lucky, I think, to be here.
Well, count your blessings, everybody.
That's right.
To be here in Austin. So now let's talk about the hiring and just the recruiting for the Senior Associate Dean and Chief Operating Officer. That's one person.
Right. Long title.
It's a long title, one person. We brought in one person so far who's...
Two.
Oh, two people.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, two people so far. So how is that going and how
Yeah.
are we looking? Are we on schedule for hiring the person?
On schedule, I have another finalist in this week. And so by the time this comes out, that person will have been through that. And I hope and believe after those three finalists we'll get to a decision. And I want to thank everybody who's been involved in the search process and the interviews. It's obviously a very key role for us.
Sure.
But I'm really thrilled with the talent and the kinds of people we've been able to bring to campus. And everyone I've seen so far has been just great.
Yeah, and if staff doesn't know, can you talk a little bit about the kind of person you're looking for and what qualities these three finalists have that really brought them to the final three positions?
Sure. Yeah, I think we're trying to build on the legacy that Susie Brown is leaving, and she's has a huge footprint on this place, and so there's a part of that which is making sure that somebody is thinking about what it means to be a financial steward for what we do. And also helping us marshal the resources we need to be innovative. I think there's a broad finance piece. We also intend to do a little more strategic investment around IT, and so that will roll up to this person. And if you think about where higher education's going from a technology standpoint, the role of information technology in our ability to deliver cutting edge teaching, for example, is going to be more and more important. So we see more opportunity there. And then I think we're also going to bring together what we do from an HR standpoint. And we've got some great HR leadership in the school, but having this also under this person. So that's kind of their scope of activities. And the people that have gotten to this point have had some blend of private sector experience with higher ed or government.
Sure.
So they kind of understand a little bit about constraints and the kind of world we live in, but also have seen what can be done in corporate America, which we like that duality.
Sure.
So they can bring in fresh energy and a different perspective. All have been outside of UT, so they're all coming from other places around the country. It's been a national search. We're as I said, very excited about the kind of person we seem to be able to attract.
Excellent.
I don't want to screw up the deal right now, but if one of these finalists comes through, I think we'll all be very happy.
Good, awesome. All right, let's talk about the naming gifts. So in our last Q&A, we talked briefly, we gave a hint as to some of the naming gifts that were coming up. Now we can talk a little bit more about some of the gifts that McCombs is going to be benefiting from.
Yeah, I'll mention a couple for now. So one that we know is coming up on March 27th is the Salem Center. And so the Center for Enterprise and Policy Analytics, what we've been calling CEPA, is going to be renamed and launched as the Salem Center for Policy. Yep. And we'll have a wonderful celebration here. Some of you may have seen construction on the third floor around the trading classroom, and that's going to be the physical home for the Salem Center, and really nice high-profile space as people come in on the third floor there. We have George Will lined up to speak.
Yes.
That's a great get for us as a school to get him down. So that should be awesome.
Yeah.
And Carlos Carvalho and his whole team in that center has done a great job of getting enthusiasm and alumni engagement, new resources, new courses. So the future's really, really bright.
That's awesome.
For that.
And KK Salem is a McCombs alum. He's also a fantastic businessman in Houston, and he is a real estate developer.
That's right.
So it's fantastic to have him and his name on that space.
Yeah, and honestly too, he's young, but has done amazing things already in his career, and it's really inspiring to see one of our younger alums step up and do this kind of a leadership gift at this stage. So thanks, KK, and thanks to everybody for working on it.
We have another gift coming up that's being announced in New York. And Mark, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're excited about that as well. The official name will unveil in New York, but it's a gift around what we want to do in the business of sustainability. And there's been a lot of interest, you can imagine, from both the private sector and from our students on making sure students can think about the business case for issues around sustainable energy, carbon emissions, all those kinds of things. And so we've got a great new start at something that's going to have a business component and also a communication angle. And so that if you're a journalist who's going to cover those issues, or if you're a business leader who needs to communicate with the outside world about these issues, then you're well versed. And for us, we'd like our students to be equipped to think about all the trade-offs inherent in that space. And if you think about the range of possible ways to generate electricity, for example, there's lots of ways to get there, and our students, I think, need to be conversant in all the different costs and benefits of approaching that kind of a problem.
Sure. Awesome. So look for that coming up pretty soon. That's it for today. This has been a great conversation. We've covered a lot. Thank you again so much for watching. Keep looking out for more updates and more fantastic things happening here at McCombs. Thank you for watching, and thank you for joining us, Jay.
Thank you.
We will see you next time on the Q&A with Jay.